talking about, before you think outside of the box, you have to start with a box and know what the container is before you really can understand how to go outside of it. While we are tackling seemingly black and white issues, really we are hanging out in the messy gray area in between those black and white issues. I'm the founding artistic director of Graybox Collective and the director of It's Not That Simple. The mission of Graybox Collective is to tackle tough conversations through movement, text, and media. With the Me Too movement that's been going on in society, it's definitely shaped the conversation and the direction that the show has gone. There's a lot of information, a lot of stories coming forward. What about those that are being cast aside? We want to fill in what's missing, letting those stories come forward, letting them be illuminated, and still digging into the messiness of it all. The approach that we take to the work that we create. There are 3 stages to this process, and the first one is invisible work, and so that's going to be your team building. That's going to be a lot of grounding, a lot of tool building, a lot of just playing and figuring out how things work. The next part is the actual devising, where we are working to create specifically for this show. And the final phase of devising and then editing, and going back to devising and reworking and manipulating the material, then back to editing.
Right now it's a jigsaw puzzle. We create in duets or solos or trios, and then Molly pieces it together into a machine.
I think if an outsider were to come in to a rehearsal randomly and see a little bit of what we're doing, maybe they wouldn't understand, but I think every single action we do, every single sentence we say develops on top of each other.
A lot of people, when they hear that somebody's in a show, they think it's just going to be a straight show. So coming to these performances where they are vastly different is kind of challenging for some people, but a lot of other people have been really positive, and they like the kind of strangeness of it because it's new and more people are becoming involved in these topics.
We have a really unique group of people here that our experience and our lived experience is very different. Being a part of a group of people who are driven to create something that matters, and also doing it full-heartedly and with that committed level of vulnerability, I've definitely found that in this group of people.
I think it's gonna move conversation forward. It's gonna bring attention to things people might not even think about in their daily life. The topic of rape culture is very important, especially nowadays, just because of the conversation we're having locally, globally.
My hope is that it gently shakes people. Get out of your comfort zone just enough into that stretch zone that whatever needs to shake out of you around sexual violence is able to come to the surface.